attorney at Tully and Weiss. Alan, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so Alan, bottom line in here, I mean, what we had this dust up within the Trump administration and MAGA followers about the release of this client list, but now the DOJ is going after Ghislaine Maxwell. Why is the DOJ reaching out to her now?
Well, there's a couple things potentially going on here. I'd say there's their official reason, which is they're trying to find out more about the Epstein network. They want to find out more about other crimes. Some people, some skeptics may say the timing here is incredibly strange. The reason here might potentially be a cover-up, but a lot of this is currently speculation and not the formal narrative here.
So when as we talk about Ghislaine and what she can provide here, what could she tell the DOJ that they don't already know? I mean, wouldn't what she knows have already come out when her sentencing was happening?
You know, that's an excellent point. In this particular case, I think they're hoping that there could be additional information. She did not testify in her 2021 trial. She did do a 2016 deposition, but she's also currently facing perjury allegations from that as well. I think they're hoping that there could be some additional information. Some people will suspect that there could be information related to Trump, but again, this is all speculation at this point.
Yeah, we don't know the details. What could be in it for her at this point for talking to the DOJ? Yeah, we mentioned a moment ago that she is appealing her case to the Supreme Court, her 20-year sentence. But what could talking to the DOJ do for her?
Exactly. As you mentioned, you know, she's currently appealing her sentence. I think the big hope for her would be some sort of commutation of her sentence, potentially a pardon. But of course, this would be incredibly politically unpopular. So the idea of something like that happening right now would probably be very unlikely. I think potentially there's a possibility of this happening later, but again, it would be incredibly politically unpopular to do something like this.
You know, it's interesting because the Justice Department has already accused Maxwell of being a passive liar. So if you've already said that out and that's already out there in public, can you count on anything she says? And there's also the possibility of her telling the DOJ whatever they want to hear from reporting I've seen in order to get her sentence reduced. Is that also a possibility here?
Oh, you're absolutely right. In a situation like this where someone has a history of lying and allegations of perjury, there are severe concerns that her testimony cannot be taken seriously. What you really need is some sort of additional evidence that could be brought up to back up her statements in order to really make sure that any statement she gives has any impact whatsoever.
But in the grand scheme of things on the Epstein case here, could anything she says have really any impact long term? I mean, Epstein, of course, we know has passed away. Taking her, maybe whatever she might say to try and get a lighter sentence out of it, is there anything possible she could shed light on that the DOJ would not know at this point, even though she didn't testify, as you mentioned?
An excellent question. It's hard to say. As you previously mentioned, because of her history of being accused of lying, it's unclear as to whether or not anything she says will be given any real credibility. She'd have to bring up something that could be backed up by some sort of piece of evidence that hasn't been discovered yet. It's really hard to say at this point.
And you know, as you're watching this yourself, as every other American is watching this, we have the Epstein client list that Pam Bondi, Attorney General Pam Bondi, said she had initially, and now the DOJ says there's nothing to see here, we don't have anything. And then this effort to interview Ghislaine Maxwell, it doesn't seem to really have much in common with what the MAGA people are looking for, the people that want the Trump administration to release this list, right? As you glance at this, right?
Correct. It's extremely strange regarding the particular timing in this case. The fact that they want to talk with her after a couple things have been disclosed, after there's a lot of public pressure, it's really just a very strange situation. I'll be paying close attention to any new developments.
Yeah, Alan, tell me, you know, what particularly interests you about this case from a legal perspective here, as you watch it play out. I know this is probably such an interesting case. Even you know, you have nothing to do with this, but it's an interesting thing as someone that studies the law to watch play out. What are you looking at as an expert that maybe the audience should look out for as well?
Oh, I think what's absolutely fascinating here is really just the political tie-ins in this particular case. This is a matter that really should have been mostly closed about, you know, in 2021 after the trial. However, the fact that things are being revived, that the Department of Justice directly wants to talk with someone, for all purposes, has a conviction that you know, could be appealed, but is for the most part fairly solid. They still want to talk with her right now. They want to get more information after their quite comprehensive investigation just seems incredibly odd and strange.
We'll see how it falls out here. It's going to be interesting to see. There's been some unusual activity that many people haven't seen before. Whistleblower, complaints coming out of the DOJ. So it'll be interesting to see how this particular case plays out. Alan Kagawa, Bay Area native here, criminal defense attorney as well at Tully and Weiss. Thank you so much for joining us, Alan. Appreciate your insight.
Thank you so much.
All right. Coming up, Mornings on 2 to 9, a legendary band with Bay Area roots turned 60. How